Laplace Dennis Bradford Conway was born on August 4th, 1932 in Shreveport, Louisiana. He spent his early years on a plantation that was owned by a man named Willie Logan. At the age of 15, he and his parents moved to Houston, Texas, where he would find work at a hotel, and there he met a man named Danny McShane, who helped him break into the professional wrestling business, where he would start to be known as Tiger Conway. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos on professional wrestler Sputnik Monroe, everything was segregated in those days, including wrestling. In the late 1940s and in the 50s, Tiger Conway was able to compete against other black men in what was known as the Chitterland Circuit. His professional debut was in 1955, wrestling for the National Wrestling Alliance, where he won his only championship in his career, which was the Texas Negro Championship. He would defend that title successfully for 5 years, but would eventually lose it in 1960 at the Houston City Auditorium to a wrestler named McKinley Pickens. Tiger and Pickens would eventually go on to wrestle as a tag team briefly as well. Eventually, when wrestling was desegregated, Tiger Conway would wrestle against several legendary wrestlers in the 1960s and 70s. The list of wrestlers he went against in the square circle includes the Von Erichs, Dusty Rhodes, Andre the Giant, Mad Dog Vachon, Roddy Piper, Terry Funk, Gino Hernandez, Ric Flair, and Gory Guerrero, who is the father of the late great Eddie Guerrero. Tiger would also go on to wrestle alongside his son, Tiger Conway Jr., and the two even had a feud against each other as well. In one match against Mad Dog Vachon, Tiger Conway Senior would suffer a broken kneecap and torn cartilage, which he never got surgery on. Instead, he let it heal and wrestled for 7 more years. In the early 1980s, Tiger Conway Senior would slowly start to wrestle less and less until he retired from wrestling and had his last match in 1985. He went on to serve on the board of directors for the Christian Alliance for Humanitarians and also was a member of the Cauliflower Alley Club, which is a club that helps supports retired boxers and wrestlers alike. Conway and William Moody, a.k.a. Paul Bearer, were popular fixtures each year at the club's conventions in Las Vegas. Tiger also started his own fencing company that would later be taken over by Tiger Conway Jr. The Conways supplied the fencing anytime Paul Bosch would run cage matches at the Sam Houston Coliseum. At the age of 74, Tiger Conway Sr. suffered a stroke, as well as a brain aneurysm, and passed away on November 13, 2006. His funeral services were held at Pinecrest Presbyterian Church in Houston, and he was buried at the Houston Memorial Gardens in Pearland, just a little south of Houston. I recently was able to make a trip out there to his grave. Getting to the Memorial Gardens Cemetery is pretty easy, and I'll show you how to find his grave if you're ever in the area. Before you get to the cemetery, you pass up Paradise Cemetery South, which is where famous rappers Big Mo, Fat Pat, and Hawk are buried at. Once you pass that, Houston Memorial Gardens is immediately after, on the left as well. You turn into the main entrance and go all the way to the back and find Section 33. Okay, here we are in Section 33 of the Houston Memorial Gardens. To find his grave, you go this way, past the Section 33 sign. It's about the 3rd row. Then you walk all the way down. I've been to this cemetery before. This is actually where George Floyd's remains are. If you noticed, whenever I pulled into the cemetery, at the front there's a big mausoleum building. His remains are there. I've been told not to say exactly which plot is his, just because I guess people don't want anyone messing with it. But anyway, yeah, Tiger Senior's grave is right here. If you ever want to come pay your respects, this is where you would find it, just at the very end. Alright, so we got Conway Senior, born March 4th, 1932, died November 13th, 2006. It says the last Texas Negro wrestling champ. He did it his way. So rest in peace. I just want to end this one by saying thanks for watching this video. And this one was a really interesting one for me to put together, and I'm glad I could release it during Black History Month. And like always, y'all take care, and I'll see you at the next grave.